What's up, guys? We are joined with JediMaster, BladeMasterRUSH Show. We got a whole, we got some history. We're about to talk about some history, man. We're gonna talk about Warcraft 3 United, all this, all the fun stuff. Before we get into that, if you're here from Spotify, SoundCloud, we got a whole pretty layout on YouTube. Come check it out, BladeMasterRUSH Show. If you're here on YouTube, God bless you. Drop a subscribe, please. Much love. Thank you. I'm BladeMasterRUSH. JediMaster, do you wanna introduce yourself? Oh wait,
Well,
now go.
yeah, currently clan leader of wTc, wormTastic. We have Hero Push and our version of Footman vs. Grunts, and staff at Warcraft 3 United and moderator on the Warcraft 3 Reddit. That would be me, I guess. Oh no, you muted yourself. I can't hear you.
Thank you. So
Yeah,
what
there we
do,
go.
do I? Are you? Is it Jedi for friends and Jedi Master for formal occasions?
Oh, some people call me VTC too.
Oh, okay,
Like
okay.
it
Yeah,
depends a lot, and then depending on when people got to know me, they have nicknames for older accounts as well. So yeah,
yeah.
it depends a lot.
So he does a lot of behind the scene work, keeping the Warcraft 3 community alive through the thick and thin. Um, yeah. So I was wondering if you wanted to talk about uh WTC wormTastic clan first, or
Yeah, I can do some backstory of that. They, I wasn't part of the original crew. They were a bunch of guys that played footies back in like 2009-10. And then they made VTC early or mid 2011, April the 14th, I think it was, and started making Footman versus Grunt, at least our VTC version of it. Comp it, if you have seen that name or played the map, you might recognize him. And then some, maybe a few months later, Hartog made or created Hero Push. And from there, they were updated and played and hosted by us for many, many years. Had our dry moments where players or bots or map developers had gone AWOL, but we've been around since, 2011, 2012-ish.
an ancient clan?
Uh, Somewhat, yeah. There are older ones, but we've been around since then. Other clans have like rebranded, renamed, merged, and split. But yeah, we have tried to survive at least.
It's hard these
Um,
days with the without the clan features,
yeah,
eh?
yeah, I guess. But I think most people have had or have their own forums and discords, so we make do without it. But yeah.
Where it's we like we're here to talk about War3 United, and in the sequence, the history of War3 United. I think you've written down the pre
Yeah,
W3U hub. What is that?
yeah, there was actually a Warcraft 3 hub before Warcraft 3 United. Uh, we refined the idea and whatnot, but more or less there was a bunch of guy led by a guy then known as Toxicity. Uh, and he reached out to like any and everybody Warcraft 3 related that he could find and was willing and able to join, and more or less just made a Warcraft 3 library with any and everything. Uh, was poorly managed and interesting views on things, so there was some drama. I called him out on his leadership, and from there it fell apart a few days later.
A coup d'état.
I couldn't tell what. What's that?
It's like a revolt by the military. It's not
Ah,
really
yeah,
that relevant. It's just like a
yeah, mutiny
yeah,
almost.
yeah.
But yeah, there was some diplomonium stuff and drama with Sniper and whatnot. That was the catalyst, at least for me and most other people. Yeah, so me and like 8, 9 other guys came together, and yeah, we liked the idea and we made it happen. And with heavy hitters like people from Hive and architect, what's it called, Ryan from Blizzard via Hive, and a lot of other people. Just like you have the lunch picture that I sent you with the ENT and whatnot.
Mm.
If you can put that on screen, that's one we used for the opening.
Oh, the banner with all the
Yeah, that
yeah. I
was
can
the
pull this up.
lunch picture, the people and the
The one.
communities we had behind us when we actually launched and opened the Warcraft 3 United server to the public and started recruiting not only behind closed doors.
Yeah, and so I'll do a small background. If you're like watching, well, here's the thing: if you're watching, you know Warcraft 3, probably know Warcraft 3 United. But if you don't, it's the I guess like the largest like Warcraft 3 community that you know helps like organize and connect content creators, map makers, pretty much everything as far as I can tell.
Yeah, any and every Warcraft 3 related things. Servers,
So,
forums, map devs,
yeah,
content creators like yourself and whatnot. From different parts of the world, languages and whatnot, while English is of course a primary one. There is
look
people
at
from
this
like Russia, Korea, China, Bulgaria, and yeah, whatever, wherever.
this lineup. We got Hive
Yeah,
Workshop, back to Warcraft.
some of those have rebranded or disbanded.
Yeah, War
Yeah,
3 Arena, everything.
yeah, War3 Arena had a rebirth with the War3 champions, I would say. Euro Battle is still standing. Diplomonium split and is now in
State.
yeah, they still both still exist, but they're not really Warcraft oriented anymore. Plays Dota closed down, Make Me Host closed down. ENT is still around. They have both player base and bots, and VC3 connects up and running, but they are not really actively moving forward. They just have a static existence at the moment.
Back to Warcraft is thriving.
Yeah, they are like the Warcraft 3 casters, so they got all the Western scenes deals when it's not NetEase or whatnot that have sole rights to everything.
Was there any like were there any hard moments in the formation War 3 United?
Oh, the
Was
formation itself, like
yeah.
we within maybe a week or so, we already had like I think 1,000 members. So the
Oh, that's a
startup, because
lot. What the
we
fuck?
we because we had so
Damn.
many people already in on the idea from the old hub, and just the tightly knit communities and networking that we have already done or were in progress of doing. Everything came together really quick. So there was just uh, deciding on name and getting artwork up and done. That actually took time. Getting the people and setting a structure that fell together quite nicely over time.
Yeah, so I have no. I kind of came into the Warcraft 3 scene proper a little late, so I don't have too much perspective. So with the Warcraft 3 Reddit, like when cuz I feel like with Reddit, like somebody must have had it before you guys helped
Yeah,
run it, right?
yes, Adigaber
Like how
had
did
it
that come
for
together?
us. Well, for most that know or used Ready for Warcraft 3 before, know that the slash VC3 was the only place for Warcraft that was active to any degree, and it was or is mainly focused on competitive melee ladder tournaments and whatnot. Uh, and after some back and forth talks with the mods over there, after we got our hands or were allowed in to get our hands onto this Warcraft 3 domain, we decided to live and let live.
Yeah.
So we got it maybe a few months or weeks before the announcement of Reforged, I think.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah, so
that's
it was
crazy.
really late.
I didn't realize Warcraft 3 was like,
Yeah, so this Reddit was very, very small and not really active at all
huh.
until then. And I think a key reason for that is that our Reddit, this Reddit, is the one linked on the official Warcraft 3 or playwarcraft3.com site. So we're the official one.
I mean, you guys got the official name, Warcraft
Yeah,
3. Really easy to.
the other one used to be linked before, but after the disagreement and sole focus on competitive scene, they were replaced.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I guess it's good to have. I mean, since Warcraft 3 can be so diverse, it's almost good to have a subreddit that's like just for the melee people, and then one that's like more general.
Yeah, the Warcraft one without a number behind is like for Warcraft lore, and then we have
Yeah.
a couple of other ones that have interesting niches or just places that really never took off.
So what? So Reforged. I mean, this is such a large topic, but what was like? What did
Yeah, that was
you were in here like right when it was like you were behind the scenes, like when it was announced, like what was it like when in the early days, like
oh yeah, during the BlizzCon we like
before the
shared
apocalypse?
the bot apocalypse, yeah, patch 1.30.2, I think it was. Yeah. Well, we got the 29 patch before that with the 24 player support and whatnot. So that was like the first official step towards Reforged. And then the Abyss Khan and Reforged announcement came a bit after that. But yeah, it was really exciting and amazing to see all the hype and hope and wishes. And then as development went on, we just like everyone else noticed that there was a lot of different groups, wills, and pulls on what the Reforged should and would be, and then later become.
Yeah. Did you uh yeah, it's interesting. I remember playing. I feel like that when they introduced the 24 player, that's when I like, oh cool, Warcraft 3 got its first patch in, 4 years or whatever. I'm sure they had one beforehand, but um yeah,
Yeah, 27 and 28 came before that.
I feel like with
Not
Reforged there
far
was
ahead.
so much hope. Like I feel like it was
Yeah, I
so
think one of the main differences between the people is the tailoring, as I call it, after and for World of Warcraft. Some people really wanted that, and some people, like I, didn't want that at all. But like that, it wasn't given to the degree that people at least expected, I think hurt people more rather than what if yes or no. Like this half thing that people got made people or a lot of people disappointed, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, what's your take on Reforged? What's the Jedi
Well,
Master take? I mean, everyone's
well,
heard my take on stream and shit.
well, the reality for me is like Reforged was just another patch update with the server migration from the old Battle.net to the new. Like it wasn't a full title release as a new remastered game. It was like Reforged is a goal in the horizon that we're still getting updates towards. So the Reforged launch was just another patch and a server migration. And that for most people that didn't keep themselves updated via like the very veteran like channels had no clue what went on. Like they saw a Reforged announcement, got hyped, nothing, half broken game. We that kept up and held ourselves updated, we saw the not the decline, but like we saw the changes that were made over time, and then the beta and yeah, all the other stuff. So we got the news in like smaller doses, so it wasn't as shockful for us as it would have been for the majority of the non-initiated players that came back or
Yeah, that's a
played for
good
the first
point.
time.
Because I was like
So while
following
they
it.
kept people informed, they weren't really trying to actively reaching the public. Like they made updates, they kept people updated, but they didn't reach out to the quote unquote plebs.
Yeah, I feel like because I mean I was like I started streaming and I was streaming Warcraft 3 like in the pre-release and stuff, and I remember basically like I guess I could see how somebody who just comes back would be like coming back and being like, "What the fuck is this?" Like for me, it was like as you said, like it's just kind of like another update, and I feel like that's a pretty good way of putting it. So like while it's disappointing, there have been things that have improved. I mean, obviously there are this and that now don't work,
Yeah,
but
some features replaced, some features removed, and others implemented. But I think overall, the feeling for most people is that we lost more than we gained.
yeah, I'd agree with that. What do you think is your either or both? Like, what is your biggest grievance, and or what do you think the larger community's biggest grievance?
Uh, well, that depends a lot on the type of player. Like, I would set us into three or maybe more camps. We have the campaign and single players, we have the ladder melee players, and we have 500 different custom game players. And those three camps, and then crossing over or playing everything, they get impacted by different things. Like a lot of people complain about the lack of ladder, lack of player profiles, automated tournaments, when they never really actually use them or understand them or had them to begin with. It's just another thing on the list to complain about. While for others, that's something they miss dearly. But like personally, I miss the like self-moderated communities that we actually have and had with the bots and whatnot. Like you knew that you had staff, dedicated map developers, and people behind a bot and a map when you join somewhere. Now it's like, who do you complain on when somebody rage quit and ruins in the game? You can't really. Like the only thing you can do is report game names and map
Oh
in the
my
like
god, so true.
in the custom game hosting.
Yeah,
So
that was
yeah,
another question. Was
we
like,
make do, and implement and like piggyback stuff into the game like we did before. So like almost like before, the community itself is what makes Warcraft great and so wonderful. Blizzard just provides a platform for us to do it. They give us the game, they give us the server, they give us the editor, and then like source code or what's it called? Not APMs, APIs and whatnot, so that we can make what we want for and for and to everyone.
I feel like you made a really good point that I was like, this was like on my mind. I was like, did they kill the game when they removed the bots? Was that it? Like, part of me is like, I mean, obviously they didn't kill the
Well,
game, but
for the hardcore veterans, they kind of did, but for the average Joe, they didn't. Like they made it more streamlined and more easily accessed or accessible. But in doing that, they also removed like the stability and safety that we had before. So while they made it more friendly and welcoming for new players and people that just play on and off and don't really have any affiliates, clans, friends, focus on any specific maps or climb the ladder, they thrive in this new environment because they don't really need to sign up anywhere, go to external sites or anything. They just point and click and get their games. While more like greedy people that likes and do all the hard work and structure and stuff, they just stand there and wonder what happened with all their tools.
yeah, for sure. I
Like it reminds me a bit of the move from I think Windows 7 to 10. Like
ooh.
you missed seeing all the files and everything. Like I did not want to have a big phone. I want a computer.
Oh,
It's like,
definitely. That's a
where's my
great
programs? I don't
comparison.
care for these applications. I want programs, EXEs. I want to find and move around and be able to edit and play stuff. I don't want to have like this daycare center behind my computer with all the bullshit programs and add-ons you give me.
My biggest grievance, well, as kind of like personal or whatever, is like the old lobby chat was so nice, and the new lobby chat is kills me, bro. Like it's
Yeah, I miss that too a lot in the beginning. Like it hurt so much. The main reason why it hurts so much is because this new chat is barely used. Like before, you had your eyes on the chat all the time. You saw when people joined, you saw when people left. You actually wrote with people and talked to people. Now, if you get a reply, that's a win because most people just join idle and wait for start. They don't even say hello.
yeah, yeah. So the two big grievances with it, or two or three, is like one. Before it was like black, gray background, yellow text, super easy to read. And
Yeah,
before, if
the usernames were yellow indeed, and then the white text for the messages.
yeah, now they use like orange or something. They use like orange on like it's
Yeah, and
really
then
poorly.
a few patches ago, you were able to play around with color codes in the chat and whatnot too. Like I see people even importing emotes into game names and whatnot because it's browser based now.
Wait, I
So
could
they have
change
a
the
lot.
color of my chat.
You used to be able to. You can use hex codes and whatnot, but they are not visible. They are visible, however, in game names,
Huh.
but only in like certain windows. So when you look at it in the list, it would probably look really odd with a bunch of numbers. But when you join in the chat, you see you have joined
Huh.
blah 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 game name, and that one will be colored if you use the color code.
Yeah.
so
So
you can play around with line breaks and whatnot. It was similar to all the mischief we got up to with the 27 patch when they enabled us to make usernames with color codes and other.
yeah.
We could be very sneaky and evil with those.
Oh
Like
yeah.
only had the line breaks, so every time you wrote, the whole chat just bumped down 15 lines, and everybody's like, "Where what?" So yeah, it was similar to that, but on a more civil platform because it was only chat and not usernames. Because now we have the battle tags.
What do you think about the fact that you can't spoof anymore? Like, good
To
or bad?
the well, I was never like one for spoofing. It's mainly a way to bypass a cheat, in my opinion. Like having color code spoofs via a bot or whatnot, that just made you look cool. You yourself never saw that color. You just stood out for other people. So the spoofing, I was that was never something I got into or had any reason to get into because yeah, it's like a hack software. The only certain people, or when you really want to mess with people, get into that.
Before you used to be able to make like as many accounts as you wanted to. Now it's like I feel like it's a
Yeah,
good thing.
yeah, it's tied to your battle ID.
You can't just like troll somebody and make a new account and then like them not even know.
Yeah, the only thing you can do if you were fast enough is link your classic account with your battle tag. Then on a specific server, you will have your old Battle.net account. That's the way I did it. So currently only on Europe, I have my original name, and then just JediMaster on Asia and America.
Dude,
That
that's
might change in the future. It has been requested, and depending on when or where, or if they will feel that they want to do that, they might implement it so that for us that actually linked accounts, we will have that nickname layer on all servers instead of just one. But that's just on a wish list. We will have to wait and see. And as people have pointed out, they take things in an interesting order. Like people still complain about ladder when they make footprints updates.
that was a huge patch, bro. That was like unbearable. Those footprints not showing up. But
Naga ears and whatnot. Yeah, all the repairs and the minor tweaks on the Lemon Skies work. Outsourcing that kinda bite them in the came back to bite them.
so I knew, so I streamed like when Reforged released. I was like streaming it. I was like, oh hype, whatever. I knew everything was gonna go wrong when I went to link my account and it didn't work. And I
Yeah,
contacted support and they wouldn't let me link my account. Like it just didn't work. And I was like,
yeah, it's worked for me, but they said it didn't work, and then when I tried again, it just got up errors. And now because it's so much too late, that option even to still exist in the menu is just
yeah,
a taunt. Like
exactly.
you had maybe, I think,
3 months, I think.
yeah, up to 3 months after launch, after the migration, when the old Battle.net was closed down. Like you can't really link a PTR account. That would have been a way to extend that period. But yeah, 3 months since when was it? February.
I think it was like February 28th or something.
Yeah, so it was quite a long time ago that even if you wanted to, you won't be able to anymore because it's too late. That account has been automatically deleted. And for them to try and dig that up in a server that probably is refreshed from like every day or whatnot would be near to impossible, if at all possible.
So what do you think about Reforged Graphics? Like, that's a very open question. However you want to
Well,
go with it.
well, I don't use them, but they look okay. Like they look fine, but that's not Warcraft for me. Like I have been trying to get into it, but it just looks so off.
Yeah, I
Like
know.
I'm sure I would get used to it after a few months or weeks, but they the main reason I like one of the reasons I stayed away from it is because everything is so oddly sized. Like especially when you don't play melee, like you have units in a lot of different custom games with effects or whatnot that just is destabilized with the reforged implementation. Like you have units that are way too big, or you have units that are way too small. You have effects that just was a little aura take up the whole map, and you have things that used to highlight something very much be barely visible. Like everything was shuffled around. It's like if you see a DJ uh, board and you just, when he's looking away, just flip all the switches and hope for the best. Like that's not really how you make music. You kind of need to fine tune those.
Yeah, I know. Like I talk. I mean, I hang out with some ladder players, some custom game players, and it's funny because the ladder players think that Reforged graphics are only good for customs, and I'm like, oh, you don't know, man. Like you don't know.
Well,
The sizing thing is huge.
for new maps, it's really comfortable because they don't really have to resize or remake stuff. So
Yeah,
they
that's
can make,
true.
there's a lot of new versions or new maps that are made for Reforged, and they look fine. They look really good. But the majority needs to like try and fix both or just do one because they have a lot of background and work already done. It's like the hotkey thing. Like if you have the option to show hotkeys, but in the map they already have that in the tooltips, you see double hotkeys, and
Yeah,
sometimes those aren't even the same because you implemented grid or whatever, and then the custom map itself has some other hotkeys. So you just see two different things, or you see double, and that looks quite odd. But in ladder, when they don't really have those hotkeys in the same way, where in the custom maps we actually highlight those in the tooltips, having those pop up above rather than just uh, over just having a highlighted letter helps a lot to just pinpoint which key it actually is. Because before it was just one highlighted colored letter, and now poof, you have it up there, so it's easy to see.
yeah. I remember on the topic of Reforged graphics. I remember like there when it because it was heavily criticized when it came out. I feel like most people don't really use it for many reasons. I'm sure
Yeah.
some people do. Most of the reasons are like it breaks the game. Like, but I know some people were like, I don't know if it's
Yeah,
because they
it's
used a
brainy.
outsource. I don't know if it's because they outsourced it, but like the reforged models, like some kind of look like this, and they like didn't mesh well together. Like,
Well, Lemon Skies worked after guidelines that they got from Blizzard, but yeah, I think the overall consensus is that the models, the icons, everything looks good. It looks okay, but when you throw them into action, they just don't really work out the way they're supposed to. So like, it's a cool unit. The animation is really nice and everything, but when you have all these moments, yeah, all these movements and animations, and like something that people that played ladder had very much problems with, both for those that faced human players and were humans, to tell the difference between militas and footmans. Like that simple thing caused a lot of problems. I think hotfix they did for that was to change the color of the milita from, I think if you have player color or allied colors on, like the militas became purple instead of blue or something, so you actually could tell them apart. But that's a hot fix. That's not really a solution to the milita and footman looking too alike. Oh, I can't hear you, by the way.
thank you. I mean, I don't know if this has a real answer, but what do you think is the worst reforged model?
Oh,
Do you have like a least favorite one?
No. Oh, yeah. I gotta say Akama because they butchered him in my opinion.
Akama.
Yeah, like my profile and whatnot. Like I like Mr. Olakama. This one they have is from World of Warcraft, and it just looks wrong to me. It's not that it's ugly or bad or poorly made. It just looks not like Akama in my eyes.
Yeah.
But no, I have no least favorite one aside from that preference because like they're well made and whatnot. So
Yeah, I feel like they look
no,
good.
yeah. The Wisp looks very funny and very odd, like out of place, but it's not that like they're bad. It's just they didn't look like Wisps.
I think I'm not a fan of the archer, but only because they look strange from top down. I'm trying to come up with pictures and it's not even working out well.
Oh yeah, on that topic, can you throw up the 1 year anniversary one?
Oh yeah, sure.
Because that was around the time when Reforged hype was on the go. Might even
Reforged
be,
type.
yeah. Let's see if I can find another one. Yeah, the hype train from BlizzCon.
Oh right, it's the hype train. It's the I
Yeah.
see it now. I'm blocking it.
Oh, you can remove me. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, 2018, 17th of February, official opening. I think we made a server maybe 1 or 2 weeks before that.
Damn. Yeah, I really like this graphic just because I like the French artist or whatever. Like the one
The
with the
bake it.
mustache.
Yeah,
This is well
bake
done.
it. Yeah, making memes into part of the community. It's almost like Blizzard did with the Easter egg, the pandas and whatnot. That has been an Easter egg for so long time with Samwise looking like a panda and liking pandas and whatnot. They had a little joke patch many years ago that I don't even remember, but there's history about it in the Blizzard site about adding pandas as a fifth race and whatnot.
Wait,
And
what?
then yeah, that was yeah. I can actually try and find you
Was
the
that
link.
serious?
No, it was an Easter egg.
Oh,
Just like everything else
like what?
in just like everything else Panda related has been, it has been Easter eggs. But then for them to actually make that into a thing in World of Warcraft kind of tells you, in my opinion, how far they have fallen when you make Easter eggs into canon. Like we ran out of ideas, time travel and whatnot, but that's just me hating WoW though,
Dude,
calling it. Uh,
this is way above. Like we've already not gotten the reforge that was promised, but it'd be like so sick if they added a fifth race. But I mean,
yeah, people
that's
have been wanting that for
it
quite
could
some
have.
time, like implement Naga and whatnot.
Yeah.
But like, just look at the problems they have with
Yeah.
balancing four races. Like they have problems in StarCraft 3 or 2 and 1 when there's just three races. In Warcraft 3 there's four races, creeps, heroes, and items. There's a lot more factors going on. So it's quite problematic for them to balance. Like every patch there's changes. There's been like no patch since the beginning where nothing ladder based was changed. Everything is up for like debate from week to week, day to day, month to month. Anyway, DM, that's a link. You can put it up on screen too and read it a bit if you want.
Hmm. Oh, you're not. Yeah, it's even. See if I can.
Pull up browser.
OBS is not the Um, you play World of Warcraft?
In total, I maybe played 2 or 3 hours. I'm not
Oh,
that
so a ton.
big into MMOs at all. And in my opinion, they ruined the Warcraft lore universe in making World of Warcraft because like the whole basis of it, turning everything into two camps, kind of made a lot of characters like out of characters. They don't really act or think like themselves from the previous games. Like a key point there for me is like Sylvanas. She was killed, turned into a slave, broke free, became her own like leader and whatnot. Why would she submit to an ex-slave orc
Right.
just because
Yeah.
she felt threatened? Like, no, not really. She was the Banshee Queen of Lordaeron. There was no other factions, but they popped up in World of Warcraft because they needed them. And similar mistakes were made in ESO when they just clashed races and factions into different camps for no real good reasons other than gameplay. And I understand that it might be needed, but I think like you could have used another platform to do that. Like I think Universal StarCraft's that idea would have been so much better and so good because it's a whole universe. It's so vast,
StarCraft
so
MMO.
much. Yeah, it's there's so much more potential there. And even if you like contradict the lore itself, it's so big, so you can just say that it's a parallel universe or whatnot, and you would come away from that problem free. So storytelling and questing, the map, everything would have so much more potential there, in my opinion, in a way. Like it was a missed opportunity from their side, I think.
Yeah, for sure. So what?
But like,
What's? There you go.
if World of Warcraft is probably good for those that play it. I have a lot of friends that have and do play it, but for me, it's like a big hurt because of I disagree about a lot of choices made over the years with characters and their arcs and just the nature of things. But as an MMO, it's one of the better ones. Like it's top one all around the world, so it clearly is the best one. I just think it's sad that they, in my point of view, ruined Warcraft to make it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you're alone in that. I feel like as time goes on, the World of Warcraft lore just sort of spirals into some
Yeah,
weird
like
shit.
one thing there that I actually can agree upon, that's the return of Deathwing. Like that was even foresighted and hinted at during the Warcraft 3 campaigns. But everything else just seems out of character or kinda makeshift. Like, okay, Arthas wakes up, sure, but why would they band together to that degree and actually invade Northrend? Sure, they might ally up and team up when attacked, like they did with the Legion, but actually actively seeking out, it feels a bit off.
Hmm. Word.
And then Illidan being alive and whatnot, like that's something they mentioned both before and during Reforged development that they wanted to fix the false death of Illidan because they excused that with the time constraint and whatnot before, and now when they actually had time and moment and resources and whatnot to remake it so that he actually don't die, they didn't. In the Reforged version, in the duel between Arthas and Illidan, in the end, Illidan dies again anyway. Like just like you could do Marvel teaser, half a second he stands up after the fight. No, he lies there dead in the snow, gonna freeze and bleed to death.
Why is Akama your favorite? Or is he your favorite like character? I assumed.
Uh, yeah, sure. And I don't know. I guess preference from younger days was some cool custom maps where he was used, and then just the exile broken setting for him in Draenor Outland. It's kind of cool, I guess. So it's a mix of factors and reasons.
Word.
It's like cheering for a sport team. There
Yeah.
mostly isn't a logical reason for it. It's just a choice and preference that were made long ago.
What do you think about the current state of Warcraft 3 United? What's going on? Do you guys have anything in the works, or I don't know?
Well, activity kind of dropped after the launch of Reforged. So, depending on point of view, I'm more or less alone, both on Reddit and Warcraft 3 United. While the others are there online from time to time and have input, they don't really put in the same amount of hours and efforts as I do. But aside from that, well, we still are open and seek out or try to seek out streamers, communities, map makers, like any and everything Warcraft 3 related, and invite them over.
I think you guys do a good job. I mean, personally.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so. Like, I have nothing to compare to, and
Yeah.
like there is, I think, nothing like us in any other game anywhere. So like this is kind of unique, and for good reason. Like Warcraft has before us and still during like today is very split and like us against them mentality. Like there has been like a few friendly clan wars and whatnot, but those have been based around like pure hate. It's kind of like the rap battles in like New York and whatnot. Like they were necessary to keep things civil without having like shootings and drive-bys to move that hostility and creativity into a more civil forum. And like meet and greet, oh, instead of putting up walls and closing doors, you can at least open windows so people can look inside and try to understand who and what you are. Because even if you don't jump camp or visit, at least understanding and knowing about others can help. Like the majority, or at least some part, is I can't really speak because I only know from my own experience, but it seems to me like a large part of Warcraft don't know about the other platforms or the other camps or the other maps that exist out there. Like some think that Battle.net is the only one ever, and
Like
others
Garena and
are,
stuff.
yeah, others are aware about all the other servers. Some like me jump around and play on several different servers, while others just play on one of their other ones or Battle.nets, or some that try and make NetEase work and whatnot. Like
Game
there's,
Ranger is still being played.
yeah, Game Remember, Hamachi, Tango and whatnot, all those LAN services, and then third parties like Eurobattle, IC Cup, M16 for Koreans, Ru Battle, and whatnot for Russians. Like, yeah, there's a lot of ones going around. VLAN for, I think, the Cantonese, Taiwanese, Chinese people, and whatnot. So there's a lot of like hidden numbers inside the Warcraft community that are not visible on Battle.net. Like we back on older patches before, as I call it, the Great Split with the 29 patch, we cross-hosted on any and all servers, so you were able to play with any and everyone more or less. So
Mm.
the actual home server that you played from mattered very little because you played with everyone anywhere anyway because you joined the same bot and same room. But then after 29, that was split up. Some people got stuck behind, some people kept going, and then with the bot capitalist, ENT set up camp on that makeshift patch that no one else can actually access. So they're kind of stuck alone in between. That's one of the main reasons I think they decayed so hard because they can't actually reach out and link to the other older patches and other third-party servers and LAN services that they share a common goal with. So they got stuck there in between, left behind, forgotten, left for dead, as it's called.
Damn. This, yeah, there's a lot of tragic little deaths.
Yeah, the Great Split, the bot Capolypse, and then
Yeah.
Reforged like 32 patch. A lot of things happened over time. Some good, some bad. But as we said in the beginning, it feels like we lost more than we gained.
I think we
And
may
some of
have.
that is, yeah, some of that is surely nostalgia stuff, but in reality it isn't only nostalgia. It was actually features and tools and communities and people. Like, of course we lose player base and people get married, they go off to school, some die, some just move to other games, lose interest. So having a moving player base and like circle of gamers that you play Warcraft with has always been changing. But I think it's the only other time that can like showcase how many people we lost would be the launch of StarCraft 2. Like a lot of custom gamers and map developers moved to StarCraft 2 because it was more up to date. So I think that is the only other major loss in like population. Aside from that, it has been like a bumpy decline and increase from hype and patches and just losing interest or moving on and whatnot. But we're still around.
True. Yeah. I'm not giving up. I have hope still. What do you think about the death of clans? How do you think,
Yeah, I'm not
especially the
sure
removal
what
of the
you mean. What you
okay,
mean by that? By
no,
the
there's
death
no
of
more
clans.
clan feature anymore.
Yeah, but as mentioned before, most of us set up on Discord or have our forums and whatnot, so the clans are still around. We just don't have those tags in game anymore.
That's
So I wouldn't.
true.
So for me, it isn't really death of clans. It's
I
just the
feel like
lack
there's been a
of.
big hit though. Like from what I
Yeah,
noticed in most
yeah,
clans.
yeah, sure. Like people lost interest and whatnot, but the groups are still around and still have means to reach out to each other.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
it's like anti gang affiliation laws in places like you can still be a gang member, you just can't fly your colors in public. That's kind of how it is now. Like you might still be part of a clan like me, wTc and whatnot, but you can't really show that off in the same way as you could before because then we had all our different channels we jumped around to. We had meetups in the for Gagu within Human Castle and whatnot, like those all those text channels that we actually had on the old Battle.net had a varying degree of activity, but they were used. So yeah, I think we lost more moving from the old Battle.net to the new, rather than just not having clans anymore. I think the channels we lost more
Yeah.
rather than the clans themselves.
Yeah, I think yeah, it's interesting. I like Warcraft 3 United is super unique in that it transcends clans, it transcends like because most communities
Yeah,
in
it's like
Warcraft
a
3 there's
like
like
a Warcraft
customs
UN.
communities, there's melee communities. They're very separate.
Yeah, it's like a UN for Warcraft.
The
A place for
UN.
people. Yeah, a place for people to meet and voice their opinions and get feedbacks and news and whatnot.
I love it. It's like
We, yeah, we serve as a platform for you guys.
so. I mean, you got dude. This logo is some UN shit, man. I believe it. I mean, yeah, it's
Yeah,
got United in the name.
yeah,
The
we picked
WU.
that.
Yeah.
We picked that back then because like Warcraft 3 Hub didn't really seem like right. So we went with United because that's what we were doing back then and still try to do. We try to unite all of Warcraft. Like that is the end goal. When we have any and everything, like if you are in Warcraft, you are in Warcraft 3 United, then we have reached our goal. Like that is the ever like moving end goal to have any and everything here.
Word.
To yeah, but like how that would work and getting everyone to be able to cooperate and whatnot is uh, every ongoing topic. I think
Yeah.
we only ever said no to one community that actually is Warcraft 3 related
Oh,
ever.
out them. Who is
How,
it?
who is it? Well,
I'm not
you
gonna.
might
I'm just kidding.
if you know like the way official means work, you might be able to figure out who they are if you have contact with or understand that culture. Like it's Warcraft 3 related, but it's not really within the bounds of fair play.
I have no idea what you mean, but that's okay.
Yeah, you can we can link it down below or something for
Yeah.
those. That...
Um. Okay.
But
Well.
everyone else has been welcomed and are sought out
Yeah. So
and
join
part of our...
Warcraft 3 United.
Yeah, and try
Talk to
to affiliate.
JediMaster. He's a nice guy.
Don't just join. Apply, affiliate with your a community map, whatever. You have a forum, you stream, you make videos, you have a map, anything. You can apply for affiliation and get access to some color and private rooms with other representatives, as they're called.
Yeah. So I've mostly run out of topics. I was wondering if you just wanted to like talk about your hopes for the future for
Oh,
Reforged, if there are hopes.
oh,
That's
hopes. I don't know. Like
like
I've been here on and off since 2003. Like Warcraft has been my main game. It's not the only game I play. I sometimes have longer or shorter breaks, but I always come back. Like it's my passion, and I do all this work for the community. I guess little back, if anything. So yeah, I'm here for you guys. I guess.
oh, nice and wholesome.
uh, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Do you think there's any like what do you think is the most likely like the next Reforged feature to drop?
Oh,
Like what do you think is most likely to come next?
uh,
It's hard to predict because they just do whatever,
that
but
that might also depend on what you mean by feature. Like
uh
land
anything.
is incoming, clans and whatnot is incoming. Like there's features on like wish lists that I would be interested in seeing.
What's a wish
Like
list?
things that we or I would like the game to have implemented. Like the nickname layers, that was something requested, and we
Oh,
got that via the classic name linking, but having that option for everyone because of the move from old to new Battle.net, we lost the ability to choose our own names. Like the restrictions we have on the battle tag is limiting to some degree. We have way more options now with different signs and languages, but aside from that, we can't really use special signs or tags the way we used to.
Yeah, I lost my name. I'm just
Yeah,
BladeMaster now.
yeah,
It's too
I
long.
did on Americas. I still have my 15 character full name on Europe with my nickname layer, but yeah, that's because I were fast enough to link.
I'm so sorry. It just didn't work for me. Like I linked it. It said it didn't work. I contacted support.
Yeah, I don't
Ugh.
know. It might have been a problem because the Battle.net app have a server, and then the game itself has a server.
Yeah.
So if one of those didn't really link up, like you logged in on Americas on the Battle.net app, and then on Europe in the Warcraft 3 game, that might not have synced up all the way. So when you try to link,
Yeah.
something felt out of balance or didn't link up in the system or whatever. It's similar to the problems with the whispers and the friend list and ads
Mm-mm.
we have now, because there's one in game and then there's one in the app, and then depending on how you match them, you might or might not have a friend list that is correct.
Word. So this is perfect because it's like exactly an hour. I just
Hmm.
want to do concluding remarks.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, I'll
Uh,
start it off. Thank you guys for
uh,
watching with JediMaster. So, you know, I mean, honestly, you're probably, if you're still watching, you're probably in Warcraft 3 United, so thanks for watching. But if you're not, go check it out. If you are a map maker, you know, streamer, whatever, you can, yeah, apply for affiliation. Honestly, just DM Jedi. He's a friendly, approachable guy. If you're listening from Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, whatever, you know, again, come check out the YouTube video, drop a subscription, etc.
like the video and unsubscribe, or is it subscribe and dislike the video? I always
Yeah,
get those two
yeah.
mixed up.
Report it. Report the video.
Yeah, report it. So the YouTube staff will have to watch the whole video as well. That's kind of neat.
Yeah,
Then you
yeah.
might get better deals with the ad revenue and whatnot. Who knows?
Yeah. Do you have any final words?
uh, well, and some
Ah,
moonwalls.
yes. I was hoping you'd say that. All right. Have a great day, guys. Thank you for being on. And
Yeah.
yeah, all the links will be in the comments and the Discord links right there. Should have mentioned that. But much love.